So we're in your Airbnb, one of them.
Yes, here we are. It's called Zen Lofts.
Zen Lofts, just off of 15th.
Just off 15th.
And this is just something else that you do.
Yeah, just one of the couple businesses and juggles in life.
Well, there you go. There you go. And how I know you is through Modern and Mindful.
Yes, my other business that's been around, I guess, almost 4 years come summer.
Wow, okay.
Time flies.
Yeah, it sure does. Sure does. And tell us a little bit about that. What is that?
Yeah, so Modern and Mindful, I started up with the goal of sharing what meditation actually is and how easy it can be. Before I came to start up the company, I didn't really know much about meditation. And I kind of had this image that involved a lot of candles and a lot of chanting and white robes and was kind of out there. And
That's kind of what I've always imagined too.
wasn't really my thing.
Yeah.
And then started realizing that the world of mindfulness meditation is based around learning how to breathe properly, how to slow down the mind, and using simple exercises, some of them even just 1 minute, some of them 5 minutes, and ones that start to actually improve, for me, improve quality of sleep, improve ability to focus during the day, and being able to act as a reset, a calming down button. So like, if I'm driving in traffic and my kids are being irritating and other drivers are cutting me off, I resort to some deep breathing, and it's amazing what it can do.
Deep breathing, hey?
Deep breathing, it really does, really works.
And you can do that in the car when everyone's going crazy.
Do that in the car, you can do that in the office, you can do that really anywhere.
Wow, I love that. Like, so could you give us an example?
Yeah, so one of the first breath work techniques I teach a lot of clients and groups I work with is the 2 times breath. So you inhale through the nose for, say, a count of 4, and your exhale is twice as long as the inhale.
Oh.
And this is designed to start to bring more oxygen in through a longer inhale through the nose, and then the longer exhale is helping your body just slow itself down, allowing the nervous system to start to regulate itself, and any stress, anxiety start coming out through the exhale. And encouraging actually visualizing in, breathing in a calm mind, breathing out the stress. And taking sort of our average breathing pace from like 50 to 60 breaths a minute and bringing that down to about 5 breaths a minute.
Wow.
And that's something that can be done 1 to 2 minutes. Like kids as little as 3. I've worked in seniors' homes. So I've seen the range right from 3 to about 93.
That's amazing. I love that. I just heard a stat the other day that we spend 70% of our day in the back of our brain.
Fully believe it.
And that's not okay. That's not normal. So this would really help people be able to just come back to a creative mind.
Yeah, being able to actually focus, and when you're at work, you're mentally at work. When you're at home making dinner, you're mentally making dinner. Rather than thinking about having your head constantly somewhere else and jumping around. It's starting to use the breath as a focus point to bring yourself to be present with everything that you're doing.
Right.
Even something as simple as washing dishes, but being fully mentally there, but then that flows over to when you're with family, with friends, at work, times you want to be present. It really helps with that skill set of knowing how to redirect your mind and say, no, this is what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, well, and especially because that is a real issue right now, is being present but not present.
Yeah, very much so. It's actually one of my own personal pet peeves at the dinner table in restaurants, and you see a whole family on their phones and not a single person looks up, and you'll see 20 minutes go by and no one has conversed. You think, why are you even out?
Yeah.
We teach our kids dinner is a time where we share and we talk, and it's like over food you have conversation. I mean, the odd time if we've been up for a long dinner, like 3-hour nice dinner on a Saturday, we've let them watch a cartoon for the last maybe hour if they're going a little squirrely, but the 5-year-old isn't built to sit for 3 hours.
No. Well, that's great. I really was quite intrigued with your method when we met a while ago, because this is not any kind of faith-based type of thing.
No,
this is
it's
more
not
just
faith-based whatsoever, non-denominational. It's just anybody who can breathe and listen to instruction can follow mindfulness meditation.
How cool.
So I became quite intrigued with it after doing some training courses. One was out through the University of British Columbia, has a program called Smart Education. They actually bought the rights to it. It was developed by some teachers out in Ontario. And now they've made it mandatory for the nursing and the educational faculties. And it's starting to grow from there. And so they offer, it was a 40-hour condensed course, but it normally is an 8-week training. And it was originally geared towards teachers to reduce stress load in the schools. And then it's grown from there. So it's really was fascinating to see the research behind it. A lot of studies that have gone into the techniques that work, which breathing techniques have been rigorously studied. Another one is called box breathing, and so it's picturing your breath actually going around a box where you inhale and hold your breath, exhale and hold it again. And this is taught to Navy SEALs as a focus technique before they go on to missions.
Wow. We were at Teachers Convention together.
Yes.
And someone who was in your session came to a session of mine after and said, if we started our school day every day with what Sarah had mentioned in her course.
Oh, that's fantastic.
They're like, I think our schools would be doing great. And I thought, first of all, isn't that nice to hear?
That's so nice to hear. I love getting feedback.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful.
But I really was thinking, like, especially because of the challenges a lot of teachers are facing, students are facing, what if we started our day as a group like this?
Such a beautiful way for any space, really. And it's taking a couple minutes to just breathe, focus on the sensation of breathing. And the two great points that are taught a lot is anchoring either the feeling of the stomach rising and falling or the air coming in through your nose, and just focusing on that for 2 or 3 minutes. And just allowing your mind to transition from you've had your commute, you've gotten into work, you've gotten to school, there's always the juggle of getting somewhere, and then now you're here, you're present. But allowing the breath to just sink you into the fact that you are here, you are present, and then carrying on with the day.
Yeah, what could that even do for workplaces?
Oh, before meetings every morning, just settling everyone in, and allowing them that moment rather than feeling rushed. And for most, I don't think commutes are known as being the most relaxing time for most anybody, whether you're driving in traffic or fighting crowds on the train or trying to wait for buses. It's not a relaxing time.
Yeah, well, and if you're late, like I can be, you're already tense.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so it's something that it's just so simple, a couple of minutes, but it can completely shift how the meeting will flow, how the morning will flow.
Because we are very reactive. So yeah, if we're living in the back of our brain 70% of our day, most of us are reacting to our day all the time instead of
reacting moment by moment and not giving any chance. And then when our brain's never in what we're doing and we're just constantly in reaction mode, it makes it harder to also time manage your day if you're not really mindfully aware of how you're spending your time, what you're doing moment to moment, and choosing that you can actually pause before you respond to anything said to you or anything that's come up.
Yeah, and in a world where we're taught that it's about how much are you getting done, how efficient are you, how successful are you, everything just pushes forward, it feels. And this just reminds us to sit for a minute.
Yeah, we actually cleared our schedule more so in the fall because it just felt too crazy to have to rush to the kids to school, go to work, pick them up, go to activity. And we just cleared the calendar. It was like, no, we're not doing anything for a few months. And it was so wonderful not to feel rushed.
Wow.
It was just good for everyone's well-being in the house.
That's radical, Sarah.
Yes.
I actually am a really firm believer if more families did that, even just for a season.
Yeah, it was really nice for a season. Now we were doing 1 day a week per kid.
Yeah.
I do my activity. I go to the gym early in the morning, and that way evenings are a lot more relaxing. It's not just like, okay, this has to get this, and then before you know it, it's 9:30, no one's asleep, and everyone's frazzled.
Yeah, because when do we unwind? At 10 at night? It's like our mornings start at 6 a.m. and we don't go, we go till 10 p.m. Like that's just not sustainable.
No, it just does not work for anybody, any age.
No.
Eventually that burnout period that'll come up.
Yeah. So how did you get into this?
So I originally opened a studio for a year, and the goal was to have meditation classes available. I at this point still hadn't really meditated much, but with a business partner we launched the studio. And then as I started trying, I started actually realizing the benefits. I thought I've always been pretty calm naturally, but when I started meditating and trying a lot of this, my sleep got better, the ability to fall asleep, to stay asleep. Found my mind was less prone to wandering around, and I always had prided myself saying I'm a great multitasker. And now I still juggle a lot, but I focus on one thing at a time and don't try and do 3 things at the same time. And realizing these benefits were coming in, and the more I read about it and learned about the science behind mindfulness meditation, I realized that I wanted to share this with more people.
Yeah.
And just the benefit of living in a society where more people are taking time to breathe better, to bring more kindness in, to bring in a gratitude practice and start to shift mindsets. That's
true.
Huge for our city. That's
true. People are much more aware of how beneficial this is, which is nice.
Yeah, it's wonderful that it's growing.
Yeah. Who do you mostly focus this towards?
I've worked mainly with corporate groups, lots of lunch and learns, and lots of awareness around how to try and decrease stress at work. Sleep being a big one that always comes up as people have a hard time falling and staying asleep. So lots of teachings around how to use different breathing techniques and meditations before bed.
Wow, so you'd be great to contact.
Yeah, absolutely. I love doing the lunch and learns. Some of my clients have me in once a week for either a 20 or 30-minute guided meditation.
And so what do you do? Like, you don't have to give it all away because obviously we want people to hire you. But what's an example of what you would do in that kind of a session?
Yeah, so the first half hour is around some of the science behind why this works, what it's all about, how to breathe properly, not just saying, okay, breathe, and people don't really know what I'm talking about. They say, look, I am breathing. Well, no, we're going to try different ways. So we get into some of the more instructional information as to how to do this properly, why it's important, what to expect, and then we try it out for 20, 30 minutes.
Right? Oh, that's good. You know, it's funny because I'm not sure if you've heard me say, I always have to justify myself to the mindfulness crews around. But like our whole mandate with National Hope Movement is mental health is created socially. But that's not to say that this is not important, because this is so important to be present.
I very much agree. The social piece is so huge. And our society just wouldn't function very well if that was not part of coming together, supporting, connection is massive. Yeah. And that's also part of meditating as a group, is there's a whole different energy when you have a group in a room and everyone has the same goal of slowing down to meditate. It feels easier. And it just, everyone always will comment saying at home, this is really hard on my own. When I do it in a group, the time goes by faster and it feels easier somehow.
That's powerful. Yeah. One of the things that came up in all of our conferences this year was we want to support people, but we don't know how to. And I think this is a really important how to. Maybe not necessarily in like skills that we offer others, but in being present, being in a group, being more mindful of ourselves and them. This is such a way to start the support from a foundation point of view.
Very much. It's where I believe the two actually, social connection and mindfulness, go hand in hand. Because if you're practicing this a couple minutes a day, and actually the science is showing 10 minutes a day is what you need for the brain to actually begin to change and feel the effects of this long term.
Oh, 10 minutes a day.
10 minutes a day. I was at a conference in the fall in New York, and some of the leading minds within mindfulness meditation were speaking. Some of the John Kabat-Zinn, who pretty much was the inventor of modern mindfulness, was on the stage. Amazing shape, 75, 76 years old. I mean, this stuff is working well for him. But that was a big question that came out, was how much of this do you actually need? He said 10 minutes a day is what all of the science is showing, and there's no proof if it's 10 minutes in one go or 2 5 minutes.
Okay.
So when you look at it like that, it makes it really achievable and manageable to fit that into your life. With the goal that when you do this, it's making everything else in life better. You're better able to connect, be present with others, be more focused.
Yeah, get more done. Yeah. Be more productive.
Yeah, the goal is not, and this is what I teach, the goal is not to squirrel yourself away and go sit in silence for hours and then find your Zen place all alone. That's not at all. There's certain styles that are more prone to longer meditations, transcendental, other styles I don't actually have any experience in. Meditation is much like sport, where there's many different sports, there's many different styles of meditation.
Right.
And so mindfulness based is what I've been trained in, what I teach.
It sounds doable.
Yeah, that's what I like about it, is it's doable. I mean, being a parent to 2 young kids, having 2 businesses, and trying to stay fit, keep friendships, have a healthy marriage. All of these, there's only so many hours in a day. Yeah. And so I like that these are strategies that they work. I've personally felt them work. I've seen a lot of clients have success. And it's so easy to fit in when it's just a couple minutes at a time.
Yeah, and I think that's what people need. People need doable. Yeah. Show me something doable.
They don't need now something else on your list that's going to take you 45 minutes. That's not at all what needs to be added on at this point in life. Yeah.
Well, that's phenomenal. Well, I think everyone should reach out to Sarah, Modern and Mindful. What's your website?
So it's www.modernandmindful.com.
That's so easy.
Yeah, very easy. Modern and Mindful YYC on Instagram. So very easy.
Great. Yeah.
And I'm in the middle of just pulling together content. It might take me another month or 2, but I'm just pulling together content for a program that'll be a really easy to follow 30-day. Just all you have to do is open up the calendar and say, okay, today here's my 5-minute exercise, and not have to be Googling different places and figuring out what to do. But an easy guide for people to just say, here's a little calendar, 30 days, and just helping them to build a habit in a really simple way.
Oh, sign me up. Because that's it. You spend your first half an hour in the morning figuring out, what does this look like? Other than just sitting there. I just sit there in silence, and I mean, I like to listen, you know, but it's like, what? Yeah, wouldn't that be so helpful?
So I like saying start with breath work.
Yeah.
Something when you actually have to stop to count your breaths in and out, it allows the brain to focus then on counting and not trying to think about thoughts, which inevitably come into everyone's minds.
Right.
But when you're counting, it's keeping you better focused, and you're slowing down the breath and setting a timer for 3 or 4 minutes and just doing this first thing in the morning, a couple times a day, build up to 5, and then see what feels best, 5 minutes, 7 minutes at once.
That's perfect, yeah. Well, there you go. Well, check it out, Modern and Mindful. If you need an Airbnb,
also have that. Got lots of those.
We're in a beautiful Airbnb right now, and right off of 15th Ave, and you have how many buildings?
55 suites in total.
55 suites. So if you know of anyone coming into town, and you're Modern and Mindful, does that travel? Because this is, you know, we have all sorts of cities.
Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely in the plans for the year, and yeah, if someone was interested in having a weekend seminar or teachings or mini retreat built in, absolutely.
Oh, isn't that great? So you don't even have to be in Calgary. Isn't that awesome? Well, thanks, Sarah.
Yeah, thanks for the chat today. This was great.
So nice, so nice. Yeah.